Welcome to our deep dive. And usually the sources you send us are, well, they're pretty dense. We get financial reports, historical documents,
Very serious stuff.
very serious stuff. But today you sent in something just wonderful. It's excerpts from a story called The Solar-Powered Flight of Toby the Toast-tronaut.
It's fantastic, isn't it? And it just goes to show you that sometimes the biggest ideas, the coolest science, can come from a story about, well, a toaster.
Absolutely. So our mission today is to follow this amazing adventure. We're going to follow Toby the Toaster on his journey and see what we can learn along the way.
Right. It's all about how a simple idea can lead to some really clever problem solving.
So let's set the scene. We start our deep dive in a very familiar place, the kitchen of Noodleberry Elementary.
The heart of the school, really.
Exactly. And in this kitchen, we meet Toby. Now, the source makes it really clear that Toby wasn't just any old toaster. He had a special talent.
He did. He wasn't just good at browning bread, he was great at launching it.
Yes. I mean, this was a whole event. Every morning, the kids would gather around. Oh, yeah.
And they'd shout, 3, 2, 1, blast off.
And the toast would just fly.
It would fly so high that the janitor actually had to wear a special toast-catching helmet.
Wow. That tells you something about the power we're dealing with here. He's not just popping, he's projecting.
He is. And all that power gave Toby a big, big dream. He didn't just want to launch toast across the kitchen.
He wanted to go higher.
Much higher. He wanted to go to space. He wanted to, and I love this phrase, fulfill his bread tiny.
Huh. A noble goal for any appliance.
So that brings us to the big moment, the Noodleberry Elementary Science Fair.
The turning point.
It really was.
Mhm.
A student named Juno brought in a model rocket. But this wasn't just, cardboard and glue.
No, this was a working model, a real one. This is key. Toby needs a ride, and here it is.
And then the opportunity comes. Juno just steps away for a moment.
How long was it?
Just 10 seconds. The source says it was only 10 seconds.
Mhm.
And that was Toby's chance.
He was ready. He had to be. He was. The story describes it so well. He wiggles his cord free, he climbs onto the rocket, and then he does something brilliant.
Oh, the toast wings.
He toast wings.
Yeah.
He straps 2 slices of raisin toast to his sides, like little wings.
For aerodynamics, I suppose.
I guess so, and before anyone could even shout whole wheat,
Oosh! And he's off.
he's off, blasting right through the roof and into the sky.
Okay, let's just pause there for a second, because this is actually a really great way to think about how rockets work.
Right, he's not using his own popping power anymore.
Not at all. He's using the rocket's power. And for something kind of small and, well, square like a toaster to get to space, that takes a huge amount of energy, a huge push to get away from the Earth.
So even a toaster can fly if it hitches a ride on something powerful enough.
Exactly. It's all about the engine you're strapped to.
So Toby makes it. He's in space, and he's seeing everything. The story says he zips past satellites.
Wow.
He even photobombs the International Space Station.
That's a pretty good timing for a toaster.
And my favorite part, he waves to a passing asteroid that was shaped exactly like a waffle.
A space waffle, of course.
Of course. But then, after all that fun, he lands. He makes a perfect landing on the moon. And that's when it hits him. The big problem.
The dream becomes reality, and reality has issues.
Big issues. He looks around and he panics because he realizes there's no outlet to plug into up here.
Uh-oh.
His whole reason for being is to make toast, and he shouts, "How will I make toast?"
And that's the perfect entry into the science here.
Yeah.
On Earth, he's part of a huge system, right? An electrical grid.
He just plugs into the wall and it works.
Right. And that plug sends electricity through little wires inside him.
Mhm.
And when the electricity pushes through those wires, it's kind of like, well, it's like electrical friction.
Friction, like when you rub your hands together and they get warm.
Exactly like that. That friction creates heat, and the heat toasts the bread. But without a plug.
No electricity.
No friction, no heat, no toast. He's just metal box on the moon.
And it's not just the plug, is it? I mean, even if he had power, making toast in space would be messy.
A disaster, a total disaster. Real astronauts have to be so careful with crumbs.
Why is that?
Well, with no gravity, the crumbs don't fall down. They float everywhere.
Oh.
They could get into sensitive equipment, clog up air filters. It's actually a pretty big safety risk. That's
Yeah.
why a lot of space food is sort of pasty or comes in special packages.
So Toby is stranded, powerless, and a potential crumb-creating menace.
He needs a whole new way of thinking.
And just when things seem hopeless, help arrives. A group of friendly moon mice.
In bubble helmets.
Yes, floating by in their little bubble helmets. They're the locals. They know how things work up there.
Right. They have the local knowledge.
And they see Toby's problem, and they squeak a solution at him. They say, needs solar power. We use the sun to toast space cheese.
And there it is, the brilliant answer.
He doesn't need an outlet from Earth. He just needs to look up.
Exactly. The sun is just a giant, free power source hanging in the sky, especially on the moon.
So how does that work? How does he get from sunlight to toasty bread?
Well, with some help from his new mice friends, he would need to build something like a solar panel.
Okay.
And what a solar panel does is it catches the light from the sun, and it turns that light directly into electricity.
So he's making his own electricity right there on the moon.
He is. He becomes his own power plant. He doesn't need a grid anymore.
Yeah.
And the moon is a great place for it. There's no atmosphere, no clouds, just pure, strong sunlight.
Wow. So he basically re-engineers himself. He goes from being plug independent to being a totally self-sufficient, solar-powered space toaster.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's an amazing lesson in adaptation, right? When your old way of doing things doesn't work, you find a new way using what's around you.
And he becomes a hero, a Toast-tronaut hero.
He does.
The story even says he taught the moon mice how to butter their space cheese safely in zero gravity.
A very important skill. You don't want butter floating around either.
Very true. So eventually, his ride home arrives. Juno's rocket comes back and lands safely in the schoolyard with a parachute.
A successful mission, from launch to recovery.
And Toby, being Toby, left Juno a little note.
He did. What did it say?
It said, "Thanks for the lift. Left some toast in orbit. You're welcome." And it was signed Toby with a little rocket and toast emoji.
That's perfect. A little piece of raisin toast forever circling the Earth.
From that day on, Toby was a legend. He became the school's official space ambassador. And of course, he was still the breakfast hero.
So when we boil it all down, there are a couple of really great lessons here.
Yeah, what's the big takeaway?
Well, first, there's the science fact. Just like Toby had to build a special solar toaster, real astronauts need special machines to do everything in space. They have to rethink how to cook, how to get power, everything.
You can't just pack up your kitchen and take it with you.
You really can't. And the second lesson is, it's more of a life lesson, I think. It's about dreaming big. I mean, here's this little square toaster who was built to do one thing, but he knew he could do more.
And he didn't let being a toaster stop him.
Not at all. So the lesson is, don't be afraid to dream a really, really big dream, even if you feel small.
That's a great takeaway. A fantastic high-flying deep dive today.
It really was. And it leaves you with a fun thought, doesn't it?
What's that?
Well, if Toby could figure out how to use the sun to make toast on the moon, which is a pretty tricky place to live, what other everyday things could we power with the sun right here on Earth?
Like, what if your video game console ran on solar power?
Or your whole house. It makes you wonder what other smart ideas are just waiting for us to think of them.
It really does. A huge thank you for sending us this wonderful source material. It was an absolute blast. We'll catch you next time.